Methodist Church's first drag queen pastor. God is nothing. In a new poem, a gender-bending minister for the nation's third largest denomination says that queerness is divine. Isaac Simmons delivers a virtual sermon on May 23rd, 2021 for Pentecost Sunday while dressed as Miss Penny Coast. United Methodist videos. Well, I see that Pride Month is in full swing here, even though this was done in May. I mean, it's like, well, you couldn't wait till June. This person right here is not divine, and the queerness is not divine. The Bible clearly says man who lay with man is, what does it say? It doesn't say a sin. It says an abomination, I believe. Now, I was raised in the Methodist Church. Didn't go very often, but that was my family's denomination when I was growing up. And there's nothing in the Methodist Church at all. Not a thing at all about homosexuality being good, queerness being good, cross-dressing being good, bisexuality being good. So no, you're wrong, Isaac Simmons. Queerness is not divine. If it were, then it wouldn't be something that you could just do. You could choose to do or not to do. It would be thrust upon you by those who are greater than you in the universe. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you all for stopping by. I do appreciate everybody supporting my work. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed and watch the video to the very end, because that does seem to help the algorithm more than anything. You can find me on Rumble and on Twitter. Let's dive into more of this queerness regarding today's video. It's just everywhere now. Postmates Pride Month contribution, a bottom-friendly menu. You don't know what Postmates is my understanding that Postmates is a food delivery service. Buy food from a restaurant, Postmates will deliver for you. And it says, food for thought, and thought is spelled T-H-O-T. If you don't know what that means that rototiller over there. During Pride Month, some businesses blast their logos in rainbow. Some make donations to LGBTQ, ampersand, hashtag, question mark, nonprofits, and then some give you bottom-friendly menu items. Bottom-friendly. You should be a bottom. So if you don't know what a bottom is, it's the receiver in a male homosexual relationship. So that can change from person to person and relationship to relationship. You shouldn't miss a good meal for a good time. That's why this Pride we've teamed up with Dr. Evan Goldstein, who is a barbarian, and Smart Throb, a barbaric organization, to create the world's first bottom-friendly menu. Yep, it's real. Eat with pride. Nope. I'm not going to eat with pride. What is this?
What are you eating this Pride? Well, if you're a top, it seems like you can eat whatever you want. But if you're a bottom, you're expected to starve? Not this Pride. Introducing the bottom-friendly menu from Postmates. We teamed up with Dr. Evan Goldstein from Bespoke Surgical to bring you a menu of bottom-friendly foods backed by science. Insoluble fiber won't help you feel cute, so avoid things like whole grains, wheat bran, cauliflower, potatoes, legumes. Hold up, are you just fully diving into those beans?
Okay, this is disgusting. The innuendo in here, and what they're telling you to do is to, clean out your colon so that you can receive. Okay, Postmates' latest Pride effort is a bottom-friendly menu announced via social media this week, with a stop-motion video full of fruits, veggies, and other food items. The clip explores what foods are considered best to eat before giving your peach a special treat, and which ones may lead to a less than desirable experience. Your peach, as I understand, refers to female reproductive organs, and they're clearly talking about gay men doing their thing. Postmates' bottom-friendly menu curates restaurants in Los Angeles and New York City to support your bottom ambitions. Did you know that sushi is a great bottom-friendly meal option? Sushi's nasty, so I don't know why you would ever want to eat that, but you do you. Anyway, the bottom-friendly menu is a partnership with Dr. Evan Goldstein of Bespoke Surgical. Dr. Goldstein, I'm sure, performs operations on young children, or at least underage children. And social media influencer Rob Anderson, who also narrates the video. Additionally, a donation was made by Postmates to the Okra Project, a collective that seeks to address the global crisis faced by Black trans people by bringing home-cooked, healthy, and culturally specific meals and resources to Black trans people wherever you can reach them. There's a global crisis amongst Black trans people now. Yeah, last time I checked, Black people are prolific. They're everywhere. They're in, every country, aren't they? Maybe not in some Eastern Asian countries, but Yeah, they're in every Western country. They're in every African country. They're in every South American country. Pretty much everywhere, yeah. I can't think of a place where they wouldn't be other than Eastern Asia. But the internet is split on Postmates' latest venture. Some like that this food delivery service is acknowledging the mechanics of backdoor sex and providing ways to support the experience. Look, they're saying this as neutral as possible, saying, "Oh, look, because there are women who do like this, and more power to them." But we know this is for Pride Month. It's not about women and men getting together. It's about women and women getting together or men and men getting together. Thank you, Postmates. You shouldn't miss a good meal for a good time. That's why this Pride we've teamed up with Dr. Evan Goldstein and Smart Throb to create a world's first bottom-friendly menu. And we have the same thing here again. Now, the problem with this, it's not, you might be saying, well, why are you so against the gay people there, anti-woke warrior? It's not that I'm against gay people. It's that I'm against this depiction of homosexuality in a commercial and this whole push to just bring everybody on board with this practice. It's not about going, hey, look, we accept you. It's fine. Get married. You do you. Just, don't throw this around everywhere. We don't want to see this deviance as becoming a mainstay or a part of our society. We know you exist. We acknowledge you. We want to treat you fairly so you can get married. You do your thing. It's fine. It's not about that anymore. We've already achieved that goal. Now it's about indoctrinating children. Now it's about making this push to have this as like part of the world. It's like the thing that you have to accept it. You have to be part of it. You have to acknowledge it. Okay, and now you might be saying, well, so what? Who cares about that? Look, there's always been the slippery slope brought up ever since this was a thing. And look where it's going. I brought this up in a recent video about how people are marrying their pets now. This sexual deviance is just going way too far. And people will say, look, this is a gateway. This is a slippery slope. And here we go. We're seeing it unfold right before our eyes. And we're going to get into more why this is a problem in the next section of this video after we do this Postmates thing. This is possibly the only good Pride ad I've ever seen because it actually talks about the problem dynamic between a lot of tops and bottoms, and the comments are just rampant homophobia. Gays are fine until they dare to have sex, right? No. It's about sexual deviance. Fiori Loto. You look at this. So this image right here is just the intro image to the video. Look, this eggplant is dressed in S&M gear. Why is it that gay sex has to be S&M? That's the thing. If you're just saying, look, if I'm a man and I married a man, or I'm a woman and I married a woman, okay, we got on with our lives, then everybody's fine with that. But you keep pushing this to be some sort of disgusting, just sexual revolution. It's not enough just that you can get married and have equal rights. No, it's got to be a sexual revolution. It's got to be this deviance. More of this, and it says incredible. This one up here. I already read that one. This one is, okay. Others see it as another unwanted addition to rainbow capitalism during this month, while also perpetuating the need to police your diet in order to partake in backdoor stuff. This is stupid. Eat whatever the F you want. Poop before you have... Yeah. If you need to clean out. But for F's sake, don't stop yourself from enjoying food because it'll make you poop. Uh-huh. Hey, how about for Pride, you just donate a bunch of money to help trans kids in Texas instead? Yeah, that's important. Queer and trans folks don't actually need help from corporations when it comes to, doing butthole stuff. Yep, you're right. They don't. They can find plenty of ways to please each other. And you don't need to donate money to trans kids in Texas because kids shouldn't be transitioning. To quote Billy Eichner in the Bros trailer, gay sex was more fun when straight people were uncomfortable with it. Yeah. You're keeping it that way. Good job. This time of year always generates controversy as different corporations are quick to create new ways to increase LGBTQ #& consumerism, but also donate to anti-LGBTQ #& causes and platforms. Specifically for Postmates, which is owned by Uber, it wrestles with the history of LGBTQ ABC, LOL, IRS WTF, discrimination associated with rideshare apps. Well, I'm glad I don't use Uber. Never had an interest in Uber. On another end, many queer and trans folks feel that these organizations make them feel seen when they create products, guides, and services geared towards the LGBTQ, ABC, IRS, WTF, #& community. What say you? Will you try out the bottom-friendly menu, or will you eat with pride elsewhere? I'm not going to be trying Postmates ever now. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for showing me your true colors. And it's going to come to the point where I can't shop at any companies because they're all on board with this pride crap. Let's be sexual deviance crap. This indoctrinate your kids crap. Let's move over here to this article out of Texas. Dallas, drag your kids to pride event sparks outrage as videos show children handing money to drag queen. Yeah. So this you've probably heard of already. It's been going around, making the rounds. During the event, drag performers danced and walked down the aisle in the center of the room and could be seen taking money from children. Yeah. So right here, you can see this little boy's holding out his hand to that. Here's a fun performance from today's Drag Your Kids to Pride event. In this video, the drag queen, Alberta Estrada, is dancing for Let's Get Physical. Let's see what this is. I don't know if the music is anything, but this is a person. Oh, there you go. See, kids giving the drag queen money. Wow, that's really spastic. Kids still giving the drag queen money. Why are there so many children here at a club where it says it's not gonna lick itself on the wall? It's not gonna lick itself. Ah, gee, I wonder what that refers to. Something that children should know nothing about. I mean, do we want to sexualize kids? Yeah, they do. That's what they're doing. They want to get it to the point where they can allow for maps to exist comfortably in the world and do their business with children. If you don't know what a MAPS person is, they are minorly attracted person. Anything else in this article? Oh, yeah. So what about this one here? This is this person again, wearing some leather jumpsuit. And these outfits are very sexual in nature, too. On top of the dance. So it's like everything is about this is about showing off for reproduction. Something that kids should not be experiencing. Unless the goal is to have your way with children. The drag queen drops it low and takes their money. This is not even the worst footage to come out of the event, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm sure it's not. These images of the display board at the gay bar were also shared that read, "It's not gonna lick itself." The event caused outrage among people, and protesters chanted, "Christ is King," outside the venue for the show Drag Your Kids to Pride, and some carrying signs that read, "Stop grooming the kids," and "Stop exploiting kids," and similar variations. Right, exactly. You're teaching kids that this is okay, that sex is okay for them to experience at a young age. Why? Why would you teach that to children? Children should think that sex is yucky. They shouldn't even know what it is, but if they do, they should think it's yucky. Let's see what the protesters had. At least people were protesting it. Like not the entire world has gone insane.
Christ is King! 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 Christ is King!
Okay, that was pretty straightforward. The protesters reportedly gathered first in front of Mr. before Dallas police officers forced them to move across Reagan to the sidewalk in front of the fire station holding posters, and they were upset that kids were involved with a drag show. One woman who was protesting, Daisy, who didn't want to give her last name, she was at the bar after the event with the "Stop Grooming the Kids" poster. They're teaching kids that this is okay and that you should adopt this lifestyle, and they want to push. My assumption is, the only reason you would do this is to push for children to be comfortable being inappropriately touched by adults. That's it. I can't. The only other option is that they're trying to get children comfortable with the idea that there are people with different lifestyles, but you don't need to show them this stuff. You can just tell them. You just tell them, look, there's people that express themselves this way. There's people that express themselves this way. As long as they're not doing anything that's going to hurt anybody, let them do it. That's it. You don't need to have a show for it. I don't understand this other than you're trying to tear down society by going after the children. That's what you do. I live in this community, Daisy said. I have for several years. I don't believe that I should be seeing signs advertising for children to be dancing on stage with men in thongs and inappropriate clothing and makeup. I do not in any way condone the behavior that these people are engaging in, but what drags me out here is its kids now. A user wrote, if we can't outlaw the obscenity of allowing children to enter an event like this, we are doomed as a civilization. And parents, what would possess you to think that taking your child or baby to a gay bar for a drag your kids to pride event is okay? Exactly. No, I'm not joking. I went to a gay bar once. There was only one gay bar in my area where I'm from in Illinois, and it didn't pop up until I was already an adult. I went there when I was like 22, and there was a woman there who picked up a girl that I worked with. It was a bunch of us from work that went there, and she also tried to get me to go along with them. And I said, no, thank you, because this sort of deviant lifestyle is not okay. Hedonism doesn't work. We saw this with ancient Rome. When they gave in to the hedonism, it wasn't long before the entire civilization was overrun by barbarians because nobody cared anymore. It feels good to live here. Those barbarians at the gate, that's not a big deal. I have plenty of soldiers to deal with that. I'm too busy getting my winky taken care of by all these little 12-year-old boys. Not okay. Focus on what is important in the world instead of this deviance. Let's see what this video is all about. I don't know if it's going to be any good. What is wrong with these parents with babies? They have babies here. It's really that important for you to go see a bunch of drag queens that you will bring your baby with you? Outrageous. Outrageous. I don't even think you should bring a baby to a movie, a rated G movie. Another user wrote, drag your kids to Pride was the most evil event I have ever seen in my entire life. We as a society need to stand up and stop the sexualization of our children now before it is too late. In a statement provided by the anti-LGBTQ IRS ABC WTF #& group, Protect Texas Kids tried to claim that Dallas police officers had removed the children from the drag show. Really? I saw children there. What the hell? We decided to organize this protest when we saw advertising for the event a few weeks ago. We researched the bar and quickly found out that it's a gay bar, and we were also pretty concerned when we saw the signage on the bar's website that says it's not going to look itself. We just launched our organization, and this was our first event. The mission was to raise awareness that an event like this, a drag show for children, was happening right in Dallas. We also hoped that if we raised awareness, the event might be canceled or modified so that children couldn't be present. Yeah, a drag show for kids was happening. That's so not even okay. We were very happy with how the event went overall. The police were able to come in and remove all of the children and their families from inside of the bar. There were a lot of people in attendance who didn't have kids, so those people were able to stay, and the event continued. Contrary to part of this statement in regard to removing children and families, the Dallas Police Department said officers showed up to assist with crowd control and help the crowd disperse in a safe manner. Mr. Mister also said the bar had received several hundred threatening emails, Google reviews, and phone calls from protesters. Yep, and this was a confrontation that happened after the show.
For little children? Do you like dancing for little children? You don't think that's disgusting? Dancing around for little children?
Away from me.
Don't you think that's disgusting?
I need you to
You don't think that's
get the way.
Hey, well, you can't just touch me. You don't think that's
You
disgusting?
touch me.
You don't
Your
think
mom's
that's
the
disgusting?
go
You
on.
don't think that's disgusting? Dancing for little children. You should be ashamed of yourself dancing for little children. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I fuck him. Is he a child? No.
You got dancing little children. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You're disgusting. Think about what you just did.
The whore.
Okay, that's fine, but you dance naked in front of little children.
And you might be saying this is inappropriate of this person to confront this performer in such a way, but it's inappropriate for these performers to try to sexualize children, to try to groom children. My first experience with crossdressers was, as far as I know, when I was about the same time I went to this gay bar. There were some crossdressers that would show up to the restaurant I worked in, and they were men, and they would dress in women's clothing and put on makeup and then show up and consume their food and then leave. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why you feel the need to wear women's clothing and wear makeup if you're a man, other than we've sissified all of the men in our culture. Now, I'm not saying that all men have to be like the most rugged, the most testosterone-fueled individuals in the universe at all times. That's obviously not the case, but going to the extreme of dressing in women's clothing and putting on makeup and all that stuff, these things that are considered part of being a female in our culture, it's just so far beyond where men should be. And I'm sorry that if you feel like you want to do that, then maybe you should get your brain checked out, okay? I want to move on to this article here from Fatherly. Should you take your kids to a pride parade? Kids can join in the fun of pride, but there are certain conversations you should have beforehand. No. Kids should not be joining in the fun of pride, especially not going to a pride parade. It says right here, this is by Heather Tirado-Gilgan. Pride parades and the pride festivals that follow are noisy and crowded. They're filled with sights that may be new to kids, like public nudity and kink. Not to mention that pride parades aren't the most sober of places. So is it appropriate to take your young kids to pride? Considering the benefits for all families, including seeing other LGBTQ families like yourself, or showing up as an ally if your family members are straight and sissies, the answer is absolutely no. The answer is no. Not to mention that these educational aspects of pride are paired with joy and celebration, but it is necessary to talk to kids about new things they may see at pride before diving it. I think they meant to write before diving in. Yeah, no, you can educate your children about this alternative lifestyle without taking them to a place where people are having sex openly in public. I've never been to one of these events, but I know people who have gone, and they say, yeah, you see people actually engaging in reproductive acts, pleasurable acts of having your urges taken care of. Why kids should go to Pride? No, they shouldn't. The political aspect of the parade also continues, says Susan Ford. Representing Black Lives Matter and trans kids are the first contingents marching in this San Francisco parade this year. Just what we need. Black Lives Matter is a farce. And Black lives don't matter than any other lives. Okay? Either all lives matter or no lives matter. There's nothing in between. And trans kids, there's no such thing. I mean, there are. I wonder what happened to this kid that I saw a documentary. I think it was on TLC. This was 20 years ago at least. 5-year-old boy swore he was a girl, would not divorce himself from that identity, even after other kids beat him up and stuff. Said, no, I'm a girl. He dressed like a girl. He had long hair. Everything he did was like a girl. I'm wondering if that kid grew out of that, or if that kid is still fully on board with being a girl. They're placed first so that we always know that we still have work to do, and that San Francisco Pride is supposed to be doing that work. No, it's not. San Francisco Pride is not supposed to be doing any work. You've already achieved your goal. You have equal rights for homosexuals. People are not beating homosexuals in the streets. People are not demonizing homosexuals. Not really. Other than saying, hey, look, you need to get this back behind closed doors. If this drag show that they did in Dallas featured a bunch of women dressed and dancing like that and taking money from children, I would have been like, no, this is not okay. Don't take kids to strip shows. You don't take kids to these sorts of shows. But on top of that, you're trying to indoctrinate kids into getting touched inappropriately by adults and thinking it's okay. Ford says, we also know that the parade is a celebration of our culture, she adds. So expect colorful artistic expressions of joy. It's not an expression of our culture. It's an expression of the underbelly of our culture, the grotesque smegma that comes out of the end of a man's wiener when he hasn't cleaned right. This year marks an especially important celebration of pride. Attending the parade is one way to stand against the anti-LGBTQ, IRS, ABC, WTF movement. Sentiment that's front and center in the U.S. right now, as evidenced by legislation such as Florida's Don't Say Gay or Trans law and Texas's ban on gender-affirming care for trans kids. Yeah, it's not a Don't Say Gay bill. Nope, it's don't talk about sex to little kids, period. As an instructor, as a teacher, you're not supposed to do that. And oh, you mean that Texas is going to stop removing the body parts of children because children don't know what the hell they want? They don't have the world experience to understand that, hey, you know what, maybe this is just how I feel right now. Maybe my feelings are all out of whack. I haven't learned to deal with my hormones and all that stuff. You think maybe? Here are a few tips for getting the most out of your pride with your family. Prepping kids for a pride parade. If you're taking your family to pride for the first time, make sure you have a conversation about it ahead of time. No, we're not going to share the history. Jessica Fish, PhD, talk to your children about pride as if it's not just this big party. Yeah, okay. But it's a celebration of being. Yeah. If it's just a celebration of being, why aren't there straight parades? Hey, there was that one, I think, a few years ago on the East Coast somewhere where the people were like, oh, let's have a straight parade. That's it. A recognition of historical oppression and uprising. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, you notice how no other oppressed groups other than, women, who were never actually oppressed, blacks, other racial groups, and then gays. There's no pride for any other. There's no celebration of being for any other group of people. The roots of that celebration of pride are just as important as your children understanding the LGBTQ, ABC, IRS, WTF people exist and thrive within their community. Before going to Pride, you should also sit your kids down with a few more children's books. Oh, there's children's books about this alternate lifestyle. People and families, kids have a tendency to point and ask questions when they're exposed to new things. And you don't want people celebrating Pride to become a convenient life lesson for your children. Okay. This whole article is about, so up to this point, is about educating your kids. And now it's like, oh, no. It's not about that anymore. If you're straight and sissy, or just haven't exposed your kids to much of this lifestyle community yet, prepping your children beforehand can ensure that your family is respectful of queer people while at Pride. Jennifer McGuire, an associate professor of family social sciences at the University of Minnesota, has been to Pride celebrations across the world with her family. From Tucson to Amsterdam, McGuire, a lesbian parent, always preps her kids for possible adult content beforehand. Okay. Yeah, like I said, there's adult content at these things. After a few events, the kids knew to expect nudity and other surprises. Other surprises. I wonder what those were. They just had to learn to laugh and enjoy things. Like, there were these Beanie Babies with giant wieners on them, McGuire says. The benefit to her family always outweighed any potential downside, McGuire says, because they could see how many other queer families were in their community and around the world. They don't necessarily get that from their swimming teams and drama clubs and school, she says. Yeah. You know, there's another aspect of this that I want to point out. I wonder if these people are pushing this on kids so they can grow this community, because this is number of people identifying as one of these things is growing. And the one lament I've heard from homosexual people is they say there's so few other people to choose from. I wish I was straight, because then I can just choose anybody. You are straight, honey. Sorry. Every person I've known who claims to be non-straight is actually straight, but whatever. Yeah, so they're like, they want to grow this community so that they have more people to choose from. That's I guess another possibility, but you don't need to grow this community by taking kids to these events. Pride parades themselves are really fun for kids, McGuire says. They sit on the curb and people throw stuff at them. Freebies like necklaces and bottles of water abound. I think it's a lot more fun than most parades. But parades are just part of what Pride has to offer. Once the marching is finished, head over to the Pride Festival, where you'll typically find food, drinks, and booze, as well as kids-friendly play areas. My daughter loves our local Pride for the kids area, which has inflatable bounce houses and pony rides. Be sure to research what your city's Pride has to offer in terms of food and entertainment for kids before you go, because each Pride is different. Yeah, see, they're trying to bring children to these events. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a kids area at the parade. Yeah. They're trying to indoctrinate your kids. They're trying to take your kids and groom them into this lifestyle or even more deviant lifestyles. So no, I won't support this. I used to be on, hey, it's fine. You're like, whatever. Yeah, okay. You just love differently. You're not hurting anybody. They're hurting people. They're trying to hurt people. They're trying to get to your kids. They even put out that song, "We're coming for your children." It's not difficult to see what they're doing. They're coming for our children. Anyway, that's all I got for this time. I'm sorry that the world has turned into this pile of human feces and smegma. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and I will see you in the next video.